It's important for us to be here today. Number one, if you are saying to yourself, this is not my problem, I think that's a problem. It's always not someone's problem until it's your nephew.
There it is.
Until it's your husband.
That's right.
Until it's your wife, your cousin, your mother, your partner, your neighbor. I'm asking you who are here today, because number one, those who are here today, we got to keep showing up.
Right.
But we can't just keep showing up when it's time for a press conference.
Right.
We got to show up on the hill, down on this block, up on Quasada.
Oh, somebody get killed.
Everywhere. Because it's our job to love our community, no one else's job. So with that, I say we need more shalom. So with that, I'm going to pray. Amen, somebody. I know we on a schedule. Father God, we thank you today. We come today, number one, asking you to be present with us. And we declare this place a place of your shalom, your peace, oh God. We ask that you would be present with our families, with our neighbors, with our friends, with everyone who is here today. We pray for your strength and your encouragement. We ask you for loving us so much that we would have the strength to love our community better, to love our neighbors better, to love those who are broken better, to love those who are disenfranchised better, to love the hurt of the hurting. And so God, we ask that we would move beyond hurt, because hurt people hurt people. But God, we ask that you would heal us, because heal people heal people. Father, we pray right now for all the elected officials, all those who are here. But Father, I pray for the grassroots folks who are doing some of the dirty work that none of us will ever see or know. I ask that your presence would be there, that you would be the Prince of Peace. God, we pray for your comfort for those who have experienced violence. And we ask for your protection. That, Father, you would guide and that you would govern them and that you would love them.
In order to save the people, you must serve the people. In order to lead the people, you must love the people. That is a quote by Cornel West. And I'm here as a servant. I'm here because I love black people. I love black people. And I often say, I'm not anti-white. Police department over there with the conversations. Police department. Walk away. Okay, come on, pay attention. Pay attention, San Francisco PD. And so we are here because, again, as I said, I'm not anti-white, I'm not anti-Latino, I'm not anti-Pacific Islander, I'm not anti-anything, but I am pro-black. And I'm going to fight for my black people until the day that I die. I don't care what nobody says about Phelicia Jones. I don't care if you like me, you love me, or you hate me, right? This is a calling that God has on my life to fight for you. And I do not take that lightly. And as I fight for you, there's people who I look up to, who are my mentors, Miss Cheryl Evans Davis. I don't know where she's at. She's down there somewhere. She always liked to be on the outskirts. But she is also a sponsor of this event from the Human Rights Commission. She is the director of the Human Rights Commission, and a lot of you guys don't know of her, but let me tell you something about Director Davis. She works hard for you. She is sincere about white. Where's the money? Have you been on the call? If you've been on the calls, you'll know where the money is. So obviously you ain't been on the calls. But you know what, brother? I'm going to give you the information so you can get on the call, so you will know about the money, so nobody can say that we are trying to unusual. It's been a pattern. District 10 has the highest homicides. They have the highest victimization, and it just hasn't started. It's been here. And the thing of it is, for me, what I would like to see the city and county do is claim District 10 as a state of emergency. To claim District 10 as a state of emergency. We need investments in District 10. We need to invest in our children. We need to invest in education. We need to invest in workforce development. We need to invest in housing. We need to invest in health. And most of all, we need to invest that when brothers and sisters come out of these jails in San Francisco, that they have re-entry right in their own community. Soon as AC Redmond comes, we're going to have a community roundtable. We're going to have the community roundtable in which you are going to be welcome to go sit with AC Redmond, that's Assistant Chief Redmond, and some of his people. And we as a community is going to tell Assistant Chief Redmond what we want community policing to look like in Bayview, Hunters Point. Wealth and disparities, while you're talking, we're going to have scribers sitting there so we can take down all of the information, because your information is important. All right, so Malia Cohen is here. Malia?
How y'all doing today? It's been a long time since I've been able to have the privilege to address my people. But the first thing I want to say is I'm black and I'm proud. I want to say it again, black and I'm proud. And we come today to come together to, as a one more time, as a reminder to everyone that we need to stop the violence. Indiscriminate shooting is not okay. We need to rise up and organize and stay focused on the prize, and that is who our future generations, who we serve. Many of you may know that I was a member of the Board of Supervisors and also spent a small stint as the president. London Breed, Mayor Breed has appointed me to be on the police commission. I'm on the police commission and I was elected by my colleagues to be the president. And we are changing things at the police commission. We are reinvigorating and re-envisioning our Bayview police strategy. What does that mean? Understanding who people are and who we are serving. First and foremost, eliminating the term gang. Recognizing that people are connected to families. Understanding that this is a trauma-informed piece of policy that we're working on. We are paying attention to bias that exists in the department. We are paying attention to audits, to making sure that we are spending money wisely, not frivolously. Making sure that we are deliberate on who is serving the Bayview community on the streets, from the flatlands to the hills. Ensuring that everyone is respected and they're being treated with dignity. If you have any questions or concerns, please don't ever hesitate to reach out and to call myself or my office. If you ever have any concerns about law enforcement, we created a department called the Police Department of Police Accountability. Director Paul Henderson, reach out and talk to him. We are doing a good job on re-envisioning, but that's only half of it. That's the policy side, the street side. SVIP, James Caldwell, Newt, Robert Newt, Arturo Carrillo. These people that are on the ground, Guy Hudson. We can't do it without them. Every step of the way, paying attention. You see something, you say something. Be thoughtful in our approach. I want to recognize and thank the leadership of Phelicia Jones, head of the Wealth and Disparities. Ladies and gentlemen, you may not know what she's doing, but she's doing a whole hell of a lot. She is up there every week raising questions, sometimes being a pain in the you-know-what. Raising hell like Phelicia does. But you know what she is first and foremost? She is from the community and she is for the community. There is no doubt in my mind. And this is a community partnership, and I want to thank you for that. So without any further ado, I'm going to pass the mic on back to Phelicia. Okay, I was confused. I didn't know who I was giving the mic to. Back to Lynn, who is also a wealth treasure in the Department of Public Health. Listen, everyone. We got some really important speakers coming up. We got some important information that we want to communicate and convey. And we can do this united together. Thank you. Thank you.
So again, let's clap it up for Malia. I appreciate Malia. You know, she's, like she said, she's black and she's proud. And year before last, at the Black History Program, when she was speaking, I found a new love for Malia, in which she was telling it as it is, you know, in City Hall around our issues and what we need to be doing. So I found a newfound respect for Malia Cohen, and I wish her well as the president of the Police Commission. And I'm also getting ready to bring up the #1 lady of San Francisco, what I call my blackity black Mayor London Nicole Breed, my blackity black mayor.
First of all, I just want to say it feels good to be out here amongst the Bayview Hunters Point community.
That's right.
Hell, it feels good to be around anybody nowadays.
That's right, man.
But we are here because we've had so much heartbreak and tragedy in our community. I don't know about you, but I remember a time where Bayview, Fillmore, all of us, when we were kids, we used to drive through every neighborhood, Sunnydale, Lakeview, OC Projects, that's right. But the fact is, we were one community. We showed so much love to one another. We had one another's backs. And something over the years went terribly wrong. Something happened that destroyed our community, our connection.
That's real talk.
We remember in the 1980s when crack was infused in our communities. I remember one of my friends' moms, when I went to Raphael, she would walk all the kids to school every day. And then all of a sudden, she was caught up down in the TL. It wasn't the same. Despair, hopelessness, frustration, lack of opportunities. Our community was not uplifted and supported in the way that it should have been. I went to more funerals of young black men in this city than I can even count. And I know all of you have the same experiences. We shouldn't just come together when there's a funeral, but that became the norm. Every time there was a loss of life in our community, that's the only time we celebrated together, when we were celebrating a loss of life. We deserve better than this. We deserve to have our sons, our husbands, our fathers. We deserve to have them here with us today. Today is an opportunity for us to come together. This community is hurting, and it's time for us to take that hurt and that pain and turn it into something different. All of you have unique experiences growing up in San Francisco. People think that my story is unique. It's not unique. We've all lost friends and family members to gun violence, to drugs, to hopelessness. It just so happened that because this community supported me and lifted me up and had my back, that I was able to become mayor in the first place.
That's right. That's right.
But I want to be the norm. I want to be the norm and not the exception. So when I make moves in City Hall, you may not always hear about them. But I want to be clear, I'm making moves because I don't want people, especially black people in this city, to continue to go through and struggle through what we all have had to grow up and endure.
That's right.
I diverted $120 million to the black community of resources that were in various law enforcement agencies in this city. And when I diverted that, I didn't do it because of a bunch of advocates who said what I should do. I knew what I needed to do for this community. And then I didn't say what we were going to do with that money. So many of the folks who are here today provided input. We need universal income. We need opportunities. We don't need someone who is outside of the community coming into the community telling folks what we need. We know what we need. We know what we need. So today, it's important. It's important because we don't want to lose another black man in this city to gun violence. Nobody here wants to go to another funeral. And I know it's more complicated than just getting a job.
That's right.
Because if we had done our job in the first place in this city, they would never be in that position where they feel like they had to do something to protect themselves using a gun. And let me just say this. We diverted resources. We're going to infuse support in this community like never before, but I need you guys to be at the table. I need you to be at the table. I need you to show up. I need you to take action. Even if you don't know what to do, just be there. Just be there. That's number one. Number two, I know that some of our young men who are involved in some of the violence happening in this community may not feel comfortable being here, may not know what to do and how to get out and what we need to do. Now, y'all know James, who worked with SVIP. And we have a plan that doesn't completely involve the bureaucratic nonsense of the city. If you have a family member, somebody you know that is in trouble, that doesn't know what to do, that is a willing participant and need help for us to support them to get them out of this mess so that we can save their lives, then you reach out to James. You reach out to James. Doing the same thing in this city. These programs, and some programs are great, and some are not. But it don't work always like that for us. It doesn't work that way. When I worked at the African American Art and Culture Complex, we were dealing with a lot of violence in the Fillmore community. And part of what we had to do with our young folks to keep them on track, yes, we had programs, but I paid my kids. I made sure that money was not a barrier to opportunity. And that's why I want to get the resources and the money in the hands of the people in this community. I don't want money to continue to be a barrier to success, a barrier to opportunity. Tell me, why is it that my brother's in jail right now? Why is it that I lost a sister to a drug overdose? Why is it that my cousin, Charlie Bree, killed in the Bayview Hunters Point by the police? Why is it that all this tragedy with my family, the Breeds who you all know well, why is it that there's been so much tragedy and then I'm here as mayor? Why? Why? The point is, they should be here with me too. They should be alive. My cousin and my sister should be alive. Your brother and your cousin and your sister, they should be alive and they should be here with us. And we shouldn't be here mourning. We should be here celebrating. We should be here hugging and loving each other. That's what we should be doing right now. So I'm here to mourn the loss of people that I miss. But I'm also here to ask this community to not let them die in vain.
That's right.
It is time for us to come together like we never have come together before. It is time for us to have each other's back like we never have before. If you ain't got, I got. If you need, then I got you.
Where's the love?
Where's the love?
That's right.
Love is what's going to help us through this. Uplifting one another is going to help us through this. Patience, support. We have an opportunity in this city like never before. You have someone who is mayor that understands all of the challenges that you might have experienced. You have someone as mayor who is going to work hard to make sure that I am delivering for you. And I need your help because I can't do this alone. I don't want us to bury one more black man in San Francisco. Can you help me do that, please?
Real shit.
So, Bayview Hunters Point.
Yes, ma'am.
My folks are here too from Philma. Black people in San Francisco.
Yes, ma'am.
The disparities are real.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, they are.
So when we talk about investments and policy changes and all that, you know, I want you to know that every time I make a move, I am thinking about how to change the outcomes that have existed far too long for black people in San Francisco.
I love it. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, baby.
So let's do this.
Come on, y'all.
Let's do this.
Come on.
From this day forward, let's make it happen.
Man, what's taking us so long? Shit.
Let's make it happen. It starts today. Yes, it's taken a long time. I got gray hairs coming in. I want to look back on my time as mayor because let me tell you something. I don't do this job in fear of losing it. I'm mayor today.
Come on, Mayor Free.
And you know what? When I'm finished being mayor, I'm still a part of this community. So whatever it is that I do during this time, I want to look back and know that it made a difference in people's lives. So I'm asking for help. I'm asking for support. I'm asking all of you, especially people who receive resources from the city, I need you to, more than ever, to help and expand our resources.
I love it again.
And we have got to do a better job of communicating with one another, especially when there's disputes that escalate to gun violence. Misunderstandings have started wars in this city. Misunderstanding. We are brothers and we are sisters, and we have to put the love out there. It starts with us. It starts with what we say and the words that we use when we talk about one another.
We just gotta
I love my community.
We gotta try love again.
I love you guys. And I want you to survive. I want you to thrive. I want you to be lifted up. And every single day as mayor of the city, there is nothing that I won't continue to do exactly that. Thank you so much for the honor of being here and representing you. Let's do this, San Francisco.
Yeah, we trying
We got a black chief of police. We got the black president of the board. Come on, people, we can do this. But we got to do it in numbers. It's going to take all of us. So again, thank you to the best mayor in the Bay Area. That's our mayor. Let's give it up for our mayor.
Let me just say this, we done lost a lot of loved ones in San Francisco, period. This is not a Bayview, Fillmore, Lakeview. This is a San Francisco problem that we have, that we gotta fix. But I just wanna say to my OGs, all my OG partners, all the OGs that's out here right now, we have to set an example for these youngsters. So let me just say this to you. When we party with these youngsters, we drink with these youngsters, we smoke with these youngsters, they're not gonna respect you. That's not the example. We have to make the example and show them a better way. Each one teach one. What I know, I owe. I tell youngsters all the time, the game is to be told, not sold. Everybody else is giving the game away for free, and we the only ones that's losing. I love my people. But at the end of the day, we not helping each other. We stepping on each other. How do we uplift people? By putting your arm out there and showing them love and giving them guidance. I'm gonna close with this, and I say this every time, everywhere I go. Jeff Brenner, I say this every time. How can you say you love God that you have never seen before, but hate your brothers and sisters you see every day? Thank you.
Okay, so we're gonna bring up Dwayne Robinson before he worry me to death. Come on, Dwayne. Dwayne.
You only gave me 3 minutes. I get 5? How many times have you been to a Stop the Violence rally? Anybody by hands? How many? So is this just another day? Is this just another political day, political correct, political to say the right things, and have another day of this, let's stop the violence? This is our community. We have so many brilliant and bright minds in this community. Right now, today, I ran into a youngster who I had when I was working at Juvenile. He's 34 years of age. I'm gonna say his name. Paul, wherever you at, I'm talking about you. And he's right here in this crowd. But he's coming here to learn to make a difference. There's a man who got killed across the street named T. Franks. And it's sad that how the police handled this situation. What they did, put a command post over here for 4 days on 3rd Crusader. Frank got killed and it was 3 other people got shot. That means 4 people were a victim of violent crime. I got shot and 6 people were shot on that day. None of us died, but we're a victim of violent crime at this point. And to see how we take care of this, so I went to a police officer. And he was sitting there in front of Bank of America. I said, man, so how do you feel about guarding our community? He said, man, I'm stuck here because somebody in bars put me over here. I ain't a security guard. Now I gotta tell you, Phelicia been pushing for a very long time. Phelicia, speaking about you. See how it happens? We so busy. I'm talking about her. But Phelicia been pushing for a very long time about getting things from, we talk about basketball, putting so many programs together, me and her. And I just gotta say this, like, look, we can't take another day of just like, look at everybody standing around. Just look around you. Just look around what everybody doing. We all in our own little world. But what I'm gonna say this, stop the violence rallies, they're good. What we do after we finish. Do anybody know what today is? I asked everyone out there, do anybody know what today is? Do anyone know what today is? It's the anniversary of somebody. Do anybody know? Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor, 1 year year ago, she died. Today. Did anybody know that got killed? He said. Said the kid got murdered. And how did the police handle that? They say what they gotta say, stay politically correct. Wait till we calm down. What else happens after that? We go back into our little corners. We talk about this privately, and ain't nothing changed. That's all I'm saying. If nothing changed, nothing changes.
Thank you, Dwayne. Thank you, Dwayne. And so, if nothing changes, nothing changes. But the changes is up to us. The changes comes from us. And the thing of it is, we can't stop. We can't sit down. We got to keep going because one day it will change. And so right here today, you have an opportunity to make things change. Over here, we talk about community policing. Right there at that table, they are listening to you. The police department is listening to the black community. You have an opportunity to say what you want to say or how you want community policing to look like in Bayview. Go over there and talk to them. We're capturing your thoughts. We're going to do something about it. As Dwayne said, I've been doing this for a long time, but I still haven't gave up on my people. I still will not give up on my people. And so I'm going to bring up Corey Monroe because I wanted this to be about black men, to be able to give our black men a voice. Because we never listen to our black men. And so this is the day that we want black men to have a voice. Okay, here you go. Corey?
What's up, everybody? There you go, Miss Lynn. All right, what's up, everybody? I was just telling somebody, when I was a youngster, this was the first weed dispensary, but it wasn't legal because it was black men doing it. So we got to make sure we get some of them brothers, you know, that was hanging out and they got caught up in jail and all that, make sure they get some job opportunities with something they was doing before. And another thing is, this community does work. I'm a product of the environment. I just made 50 years old because of people in Bayview on this point. They gave me an opportunity. I was not a gangster. I'm square. I ain't shooting nothing. Not even at Great America, right? But at the same time, we have people here who really care. So it's all about reaching out to the youngsters. I work at a middle school, every middle school, and our young men, we just had student-led conferences. They're doing their best they can, but they still need us to reach out and be mentors. So never give up on our young people. Don't give up on our girls. Talk to them. People do listen and people change. Do never think for a moment that young people not listening to you. Some of them just like us. You remember you turned into a young teenager. You don't want to hear nothing, but it's not like that message is not there. So please give young people opportunity. If you know about things like jobs and all that great stuff, please tell young people about it. You know, help them even in the faith thing. Some of them need to get back in contact with going to church, the mosque, and all that. But we have to reach out. And Phelicia is one of the best because we do groups in the jail. And she has a thing that says discovering your true self. Who are you really? Like, we have to understand that because we lack creativity now. Sometimes we watch a video or see something on TV and we want to be like somebody else. What about what you want to be? So challenge young people to be something in life. And let's love our young people. And we have a lot to do because they've been stuck in that house for a whole year like some of us. So we have to get them outside on these bicycles or doing something. Matter of fact, I need to ride a bike and exercise myself, right? Need to put a lock on that refrigerator. But at the same time, let's get out here
together, let's do stuff. You got great people in the community that's doing stuff, that's helping young people get out and do stuff and get them in the baseball games. I was telling Roy that, talking to Miss Tassine, they doing these great things in the community, but we have to be the ones. I love our young people. I listen to them, and they hecka smart. Every day I learn something for young people. It ain't about them learning from me. They teach me something every day. So please listen up. And sometimes we get mad at young people because they have an idea. That's what they supposed to have. We want to tell them, shut up and listen. No, you need to listen sometime, right? They have an idea, and sometimes we scared of their idea. They have business ideas. Some of them don't want to work for nobody. They want to create their own thing. What about what they want to do? We was in the conference the other day, little brother, he drew some little basketball people, but they was real little. But he colored it in. It was great. I said, man, you can sell that as art. Matter of fact, I'll be the one to buy it. You know what I'm saying? And last but not least, when our people have businesses, stop trying to shortchange them. When you go downtown, you get them the full money. So when you see our black people, get them the full money. Stop playing. You want $5 off. You done ask Macy's or Nike. You know what I'm saying? We don't even think about asking $5 off over the Jordans or 10. So when you give them people some money, give our people, matter of fact, give them some more. Ain't nothing wrong with you. We need to stop playing them old ghetto games like my mama said. All right? And last but not least, get out and support our people. They just opening up their businesses. Get out and put that money in there. Make sure you spend money with our people. Spend that money. I bought this from some black people. It looked good, and I'm going to keep it on. Do you know what this means? Historic black colleges and universities. Yes, we have black people who go to college. They built our colleges, and they there. Seeing some of these kids to school, stop telling them to be a thug. Being a thug ain't working. And we do groups at the jail. Sometimes them thugs come in there telling hella fast, like, I thought you was a gangster. Let's get these babies into school. Let's get these trade schools going, and let's encourage them to do the right thing. They do what we tell them, and we listen to them also. And I love y'all. I love Hunters Point. I ain't never gonna be afraid of here. This is where I grew up. We ran around here. We rode bicycles. We went all over the place. So y'all gotta remember that. I love y'all with my whole heart.
Thank you, Corey. Come on, Javier. Come on up, brother. Give it back to him. Thank you.
All right. So if y'all don't mind, if I can get a little crowd participation real quick. My name is Hav. I'm going to do a piece about one of my students who I met the dude who killed him in juvenile hall. And I realized that day that 2 people died, except the society didn't know that another person died without knowing. And I wrote a play about him, and I took it all across the world. And when I tell you that kids were giving me guns at the play, kids were seeing themselves in the story. So if you can do me a favor, when I point to you, the crowd, I want y'all to say, this is how a killer gets made. Can we try it real quick? 1, 2, 3. Cool. That's how a killer gets made. He's about to get saved too.
All right.
I once knew this boy named Anthony Brandon Smith, born May 1, 1999, oldest child of 2, abandoned at the age of 3, stared 4 stories down his project window, saw 5 bullets bullet their way into his uncle's chest and crescendo with his death. 6 minutes past, his auntie collapsed, pronounced dead of a heart attack. 7 minutes go by, and his at an orphanage with his godbrother and little sister, who after 8 brutal months of abuse, he finds bloody and without color. 9 years since, and as a consequence, Anthony won't be the same. He passes time playing video games, and the doctor gives him Prozac to slow down his brain. 11 years go by with no glimpse of love. He misses the kisses and hugs, cries himself to sleep, but is slowly growing numb. He learns addition, count to 11 new bruises his foster father gives him, understands the language of anguish, listens as knuckles rip him, blood glistens on battered skin, can't understand why he's in the hell that he's in. 12 minutes go by with no glimpse of love, and he runs away with a vengeance. But after a violent instance got Anthony serving a 13-month sentence, juvenile hall proves to be more friendlier than home. Anthony, 14 years old, full grown, now tearless, can't recall the last time he shared his pain, living in a foster home saved. This is how a killer changes his ways. This is how a killer gives praise. Because this is how a killer met Yahweh. Because if God can turn Saul into Paul, he can do it for us all. So the next time you walking down the street, seeing a teen looking mean, just know that their life has been a crime scene that's yet to be clean. How do I know so much about Anthony? He's me. This is how a killer got saved. Now, I'm going to drop one. I know I was hella deep. I'm going to charge y'all next time. I was watching TV and it wasn't all good because I never see superheroes that fix problems in my neighborhood, so I thought, I wondered if I can be an X-Men, which one would I be? And how can I take their powers to fix the problems that I see? So I thought, if I had the power of storm to control the weather, I'd get rid of all the toxins in Bayview so these kids can breathe better. If I had mind control like Professor Xavier, I'd get everyone to understand that Black Lives Matter everywhere. If I had claws, just like Wolverine, I would slash college tuition prices down so these kids can go and follow their dreams. I would use this healing power to boost up their self-esteem. Now, I mean, if I had a third eye like Cyclops, I keep a laser eye view on the cops during traffic stops. If I had the power of Magneto to magnetize, I would attract bullets to me right before they hit innocent kids during drive-bys. And if I could move buildings just like Jean Grey, I'll move all my people that got gentrified out of Bayview when they had to move to Antioch and Sacramento back into the Bay, which they used to stay, so they ain't got to commute 100 miles a day, which means less time with their kids to play. I would come to your kids' schools dressed as Deadpool, say, point out all the bullies, give them wedges, and say, yo, what's up, fool? If I had the strength of Rogue, I'd change the direction of this globe. I'd shape shift our hood beliefs like Mystique, so when they want to treat us like we're beasts, we say sharper than saber-toothed teeth. But see, most of my people, we've been X-Men. We've almost been executed, made examples of, but I ain't no X-Men, though. I ain't got no special powers. I ain't got no weapons. Psych, take that back, I do. I got the Holy Spirit in me, and I got power in my expression, and I use it to get the masses' attention. I'll be putting out stuff they don't even want me to mention. My X-Men are artists who are the smartest, educators who are innovators, B-boys and B-girls, poets and MCs that scream, if I rule the world. Imagine that. My X-Men and women are singers and dancers, muralists and journalists who pay homage to our ancestors. My X-Men and X-women are single mothers, youth leaders and pastors, and the future of these kids is what they really after. See, the type of power we got, you can't get from PG&E.
That's right.
The type of power we got, you can't get from PG&E. It's divine. My power supply comes from the sky, and my plug is G-O-D. See, Marvel Comics shouldn't even peep this logic. So you ain't got to be an X-Man to do extraordinary things in Bayview. Just don't do one thing. Don't make excuses. I ain't Chris Brown, but I gave y'all an ill-ass show. Deuces.